There we go. Now we're live.
Hello, hello.
Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And welcome, Rob. Thanks for joining us on this watch party.
Thank you for having me. And
So I
I'll
guess,
apologize to you and the watchers in advance that I had not seen this movie before, and I recently picked it up. I have the nice Canon Media release of it, the first original '89 release. So I figured, why not jump on that and check it out with Jeff? And well, it wasn't the best idea. Let's just put it that way.
yeah, because you sort of expect, I mean, like I said to Rob, on this VHS and pretty much every edition you're going to get of this film, Bronson's picture with a gun on the cover, and with an explosion in the background usually and stuff, or right there. Yeah, it's a bit more mysterious in that cover. Guess that's
Yeah.
similar to my German Brewery. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, either way, you're going to get him with a gun on the cover, and you expect, of course, with the title "Messenger of Death," you're going to expect a hard R action film. Especially since it's a canon film. But then it turns out to be this sort of murder mystery, sort of extended episode of Murder She Wrote, a little bit,
Yeah. Yes, it did.
with very light on action.
Very.
So
A
I
little lighter
guess,
than I anticipated.
yeah, a little
Yeah.
lighter than I think most Bronson fans anticipated. So I guess we'll just start by saying, yeah, my guest for tonight is Rob's Vintage Video. So I would say for people that aren't familiar with you yet, Rob, say a little bit about yourself and your channel. Got anything coming up you want to plug or anything like that?
Well,
The
yeah,
stage
I
is
got
yours.
like you said, Rob's Vintage Video. I'm in the process of reopening my video store that I had previously open in my basement, or not in my basement, outside. As you can see, I'm in front of my
Yeah,
virtual video store. This is the front of it. So I'm locked out at the moment, and I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to open it as soon as possible. So stay tuned for that. And I also just put out a video called "The Static Realm," Channel 13, "The Static Realm," a video that I did a bunch of like skit comedy shorts on. You can take a look at that. That's about it for now.
cool. Yeah, we'll definitely check that out. And for people that aren't subscribed to Rob yet, of course, his link is in the title of the stream and also in the description of the stream.
Much
And by that,
appreciated.
let's just welcome in a couple of guests. We got featured guests of the Bronson month, Pockwell 316, Matt.
Hey,
Gentlemen and Bronsonites, good evening. Good evening, Matt. He's going to
well,
be joining me on Wednesday for Death Wish 2.
nice. I should have picked that one. I should have picked anyone, but I should have picked that one, or at least one.
Yeah, well, we're stuck with it now, so.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's not a terrible. I was going to say it's not a terrible movie. It's just not what you expect. It's more of, like you
Yeah,
said, pretty tame mystery movie
yeah.
with a
Yeah, like
little
I
bit of
said,
a scuffle at the end.
I can only imagine it was Bronson sort of trying to shake his image, trying to break loose with the vigilante sort of persona, because he did this one right after Death Wish 4, and right after this one he did Kinjite with Jelly Thompson as well, who directed this one. This is their eighth film of the 9 collaborations they did, and I can only imagine he just wanted to do something else, but just completely fell flat, and then soon
Hmm,
after he would return to what he was known for best.
thank God.
Because, like I said to Rob before, there's not too much trivia or anything like that on this film. I have done a little bit of my research from the Bronson's Loose book by Paul Talbot, who's sort of a historian on Bronson. Try to do my research on IMDb, but even something on IMDb is contradicted by Paul Talbot, we just discovered in his book. So there's
Yeah, there's
not
a
too much trivia,
controversy.
unfortunately. Yeah, there's a controversy. There's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, the director got ill, or he fell ill, or he didn't fall ill. We don't know.
Yeah,
We can't confirm
because
or deny.
according to IMDb, he fell ill, and then Paul Talbot, when he did his research and interviews for the book, he didn't find any confirmation of that. So it's a mystery. Just like this film, it's a mystery filler.
But I mean, it's not hard to figure out because they actually name. Oh, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. They actually name the other producer, the other director. So it's either that guy did it or not. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, like I was saying, J.D. Thompson was in his 80s at this point, so it's very plausible that he did fall ill. But so obviously, when you're at that age, you're a little more sensitive to things. But yeah, it's a mystery.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm see you're also streaming this on your channel, which is
Hey, Sean,
great,
what's
and we
happening,
got
Sean?
Sean watching on yours. This is
Yeah, I
Sean the
thought I'd throw
Digital.
it up there and try to get as many people to watch it. Messenger
Yeah,
of Death,
yeah,
which is not. There's a message in there. and it's maybe a messenger, but there's not much death. Well, I mean, there's a small bit of death.
Yeah. In the beginning, you're sort of like, oh, cool. The body count rises right from the beginning, but that's where it stays,
Stops right there.
unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a blind pick. Like for everybody who's joining in, it was a blind pick. I had not seen this movie until yesterday,
Yeah.
and needless to say, we should have picked something else.
And of course, I could have warned Rob if you were sure about this, but I was like, yeah, let's stick with it. Hey, it's a Bronson film. It's any Bronson is a good Bronson in my book.
Well, that's what I
But
figured. That's what I was like under
yeah,
the impression. I didn't really know about this movie.
and here is Charlotte Knight saw the werewolf. She's also watching on your channel. I'm
Hey,
assuming it's
Charlotte,
a
what's
she.
happening?
Hey there, Wolfie has arrived in the chat. And Puckwall is slipping between channels. Appreciate it. Hit
Yeah,
the like on both streams, of
yeah, hit
course.
those likes, man. Hit those likes.
Well, that's good. Hope all's well with you too. Yeah. So the good news about this film, well, it's still not. It doesn't change much about the film, but it is a canon film. So at
Hmm.
least it's got that going for it. It's produced by Menachem Golan and Yoram Globus when they were having some real financial troubles at this point. This was after what was it? Their big flop, Superman 4 and Masters
Hmm.
of the Universe. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So this is another factor that goes into this film. This wasn't made with a lot of money. Probably most of the budget went to Bronson himself for his salary.
Probably.
I'm guessing. Yeah. So yeah, let's. We got a couple more comments. Link us to both streams.
We're
Yeah, we're doing good, Charlotte.
doing good.
So yeah, I would say let's start this film up. Let's have the awesome Canon logo roll up on us.
Yeah. Let's do it.
If you're ready.
Yep.
There we go.
And I'm watching it on VHS, like I said, on the Canon release,
Yeah.
just for everybody who's joining in.
Probably will have a couple of differences in the running speeds, but we should be fine. So yeah, the Canon Group Inc. presents, and this is a very weird sort of opening title track.
Yeah.
In a way, I like it, but it's also very odd. But it sort of fits the tone of the film a little bit. And the music is done by Robert O'Ragland, who also did the
Hmm.
music for 10 to Midnight with Charles Bronson, which is a score I much prefer to this one.
Right.
And a film I much prefer to this one, I should say.
I found the
There we go,
credits.
mess with
The,
that.
the credits opening credits is kind of long too. This part.
Yeah, it just keeps focusing on the statue of the Avenging Angel there.
Yeah.
I think by the end it sort of goes around, but
Sorry.
that's
There we
okay.
go. Yeah, it takes long. This part. Like I was like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
I fast forward through it.
Yeah, that's probably what I would have done here too.
It's long, man. It goes for a bit.
Mm. But I guess the upside to that is the end credits aren't that long, so
Yeah, it ends pretty quickly, so that's cool.
and there is credited Gene Davis, who was also in 10 to Midnight as the serial killer. Who you can't see because I'm blocking that image, but in the image where my video screen is, that's an image of both of them.
Right.
Oh, edited by Peter Lee Thompson. I guess he's related to J.D. Thompson, maybe a son. This was a family affair.
That's pretty cool. Keep it in the family.
They're producers, the legendary Canon producers, Menachem Golan, Yoram Globus. Oh yeah, this is based apparently on the novel The Avenging Angel by Rex Burns, but other than maybe I think the general story, a little bit of it, there's not too much that this film has in common with the
Yeah, that's
novel.
another thing that I read, that it doesn't. It's not even close to the actual book.
Yeah, they changed the character, and I think they only purchased the story rights, not the character rights or the names and stuff. So they had to change a lot of stuff because I think the original book deals with a cop in the UK, if I'm not mistaken,
Right.
and he's solving a murder in the UK. So it's very different. Obviously, this is brought to Colorado,
Yeah.
and Bronson, instead of a cop, he's playing a newspaper reporter. There we go. This is where the film actually starts, and starts out pretty dark and grim with this Mormon family. Spoilers, being killed in a few minutes here.
Yeah, for sure, man. And it's kind of weird too because you don't really, to the last minute of the movie, do you find out why they even they even did that? You know, like what it's
Yeah,
got to do with the rest of the story. Like,
yeah, and then it sort of unfolds as this very convoluted sort of plot. It has to do with water rights. It's like they're trying to be Chinatown all of a sudden. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't. It's not. It's like he's trying to find these killers the whole movie, and then towards the end of the movie, it turns into a water company.
yeah,
I found that weird too. I was like, what did they switch the script at the end? Did they like? Did they not like the movie what they had, so they rewrote it? And let's throw a water company in there
yeah, probably.
because it totally looks like that.
It wouldn't surprise me either. Like Canon probably threw like $8 or $9 million at this, and then they were like, "No, we got to cut the budget, and we got to cut some scenes. Maybe a lot of the stories, a lot of the script got lost on the cutting
Mhm.
room floor because they slashed the budget. Because they did that with Assassination, which was a Bronson picture he did before this one.
Right.
I think even Death Wish 4 got some of its budget removed during filming, which of course always brings trouble if you do that. Yeah, there's Canon for you.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It definitely looks like it could be that the case of that. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
They don't. It's, they only introduced, like I said, they only introduced that part of the plot like way late in the movie. So
Yeah.
I do like the way they did the opening sequence of this though. Like the men just showing up like mysteriously, and you don't see their face, and they're just walking, and
Yeah.
they don't say a word the whole time.
It's a very suspenseful opening. It's
And you
almost
don't
it,
think
it
like,
almost opens like a horror film, doesn't it? Like very sort of
yeah,
atmospheric. Yeah.
it definitely looks that way.
Well, actually, this blonde lady, we just got her close up there. I think she was in Death Wish 4 as well. She was in the opening scene. She was the in the dream scene. She was the would-be rape victim in the opening scene of Death Wish
Oh,
4.
really?
Yeah.
I just like the way they show the killers. Like, they're all dark. You don't see their face.
Yeah, with the cowboy hats on and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't think that they're going to kill everybody.
Yeah, you definitely don't think they're gonna kill the kids. Yeah. Luckily, the killing of the kids is off screen, but still, it's like what is it? There 15 kids or something,
There's a bunch of
separate
them
girls.
anyway. He
Yeah.
takes a bunch of shots at them. What on the bed? There's one, two, three, four, five. There's at least six of them, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. When the guy comes up with the shotgun, he's like, he just
Yeah.
keeps shooting. Yeah.
And this lady here, she grabs the shotgun. This lady has to be the slowest gun loader ever. There's
Yeah.
only two bullets, and it takes her about 15 minutes.
She's still loading it.
She's still trying to load it. She's trying to get the bullets, and it's like I said, there's only two slugs you got to put in there, man. Even if
Yeah.
you just put one in,
Oh, yeah, it is a double barrel shotgun, isn't it? Yeah.
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 But even if you're
I
only
think
going to put one because you don't have time, at least put one in and try to shoot the dude. This guy's walking slow as shit too. He's not in a hurry, man. She's still trying to load it.
So we got our mutual friend and connection right here, Gareth. I'm stealing his guests. Hey, Gareth.
What's happening, Gar?
Actually, Bronson's character's name in this one is Garrett, but then spelled differently. But
Yeah, they
he's
call him
spelled
Gar, right?
different. Yeah, his nickname is Gar, but his full name is Garrett Gar Smith. Yeah,
Ah,
and
I
then
wondered if his name
Carlos
might have been Garfield.
could be.
If
Anyway,
my
my
name
buddy.
was Garfield, that's what I'd tell people. Call me Gar, man. That's not. You don't need to call me Garfield.
Yeah. Anyway, hey Carlos, how you doing? Yeah, this is quite a dark storyline. Unfortunately,
What's
it's
happening, man?
not a action-packed storyline, but it's okay. It's okay. It's not a bad film. I've seen worse.
Yeah, like I said, if you hadn't heard me before, I picked this movie. I had not seen it before. I had recently picked it up on a VHS, and I wanted to check it out. So I jumped on this title, and it was a bad move.
Now we have another one watching on your channel, The Captain. Ahoy, Captain.
Hey, what's happening, Captain?
Captain Adam. Might need some fixing. I think
Right,
he's
need some fixing.
referring to the Simpsons Bronson skit.
Wow.
I'm going to Emmett's fix-it store to fix Emmett. Jason from
Hey,
Backtrack
Jason,
Cinemas
what's
here.
happening, man?
Hey, Jason.
I ran into Jason
Also,
at Horror Fest a couple weekends ago.
oh, cool. Yeah, he told me he was
Not a
going
Horror
there.
Fest. What did I say? Horror Fest. Frightmare in Niagara Falls.
Yeah. Hey, Adam the Pirate, do you have Captain Jack Sparrow as your rival, or?
No, Captain Jack Sparrow won't go nowhere near Captain Adam. He knows better.
Well, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go that far, Carlos. I mean, I'm gonna do a couple of these watch parties. Definitely not gonna do as much as Garrett. I mean, Garrett, he's a beast, man. He just keeps going with me. Does so many.
Oh yeah,
Um, I
he's a
mean,
busy bee. He's a
I
busy
got
little
like
bugger, that
I
Garrett.
got like six watch parties on my channel planned this month so far. Can probably do one or two more at the end of the month, but that would be stretching. I mean, Gareth has done way more. So
He's been a busy little bugger.
indeed.
Oh, okay, they're cool. Okay, they're cool now. Sorry, I didn't mean to speak too fast, Cap.
Cheers to you with rum. All right, this is Bronson's introduction scene right there. Obviously, he's
Yeah,
got a girlfriend who's like 30 years younger than he is.
yeah,
He's sort of being like Steven Seagal before Steven Seagal had a career.
yeah, for sure. I was going to say that. And you know something? I don't know. It, do you find that he fits a news reporter?
Mm, I prefer to see him as a tough killer. Obviously, I think he plays it well enough, but it's not not the sort of thing you want to see Bronson in. Definitely, yeah.
I just kind of I just have a hard time. I don't know. He just looks
It's
a
weird.
little tiny bit awkward to me, like as a news reporter. Like
Yeah,
I don't know. He could be anything else. You know, it's weird.
yeah, it's definitely a weird fit for him. Absolutely. As I was saying earlier, I do like his styling in this film. I do like that jacket that he's wearing right there, the brown sort of leather jacket with this little
With
fur
the fur hood there.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fur hood.
Every time when I watch movies, I look at people's wardrobes and stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, I always think like, is it because I'm from Canada and it gets pretty cold, and
Yeah.
I see him wearing a jacket like that, and I'm like, how cold is it there that he needs a jacket like that?
I don't know. I've never been to Colorado. I mean, I assume this is shot like in the fall or winter time. It must be sort of chilly at least.
I'm sure it
But
gets cold enough. Like, I mean, obviously they're wearing jackets for a reason, but I mean,
yeah,
'cause that jacket looks pretty warm to me. I feel like I could probably wear that jacket here at minus 30 or
yeah,
minus
indeed.
30 degrees Celsius, or whatever it is Fahrenheit. I don't remember, but
Yeah, it definitely looks like a thick sort of winter jacket. That's for sure. Yeah,
yeah, that's one thing that bugs me. I'm one of those guys that I see everything like that. And when the actor's wardrobe doesn't match up, let's say like one guy's wearing a winter coat and the other guy's wearing a tank top,
yeah,
I that bugs me, man.
yeah. Me too. It's one of
I
those things
hadn't
that could
seen
bug me as
Messenger
well.
of Death at all, Jason. I hadn't seen it. I just picked up the tape and I jumped on the chance to watch it with Jeff, and that I would have chose a different one if I would have seen it. Let's put it that way. Not a terrible
Hey,
movie. Just
Mike. Yeah, it's not a terrible one.
what's happening, Mike?
Jeff is a cockroach compared to me. He's obviously referring to Scarface, which I'm going to be watching on this channel tomorrow.
It's a cockroach, huh?
Cockroach.
Good old Pacino.
Only a few nights sail away from the North Pole. That Alf Christmas special VHS is as good as mine.
Nice. I know this might be a little bit of a demand, but if there's two, pick me up one. I doubt there'll be two,
Uh,
but you never
this
know.
is very true, Carlos. He does have his sort of reunion with Gene Davis, who was the serial killer in 10 to Midnight. That's coming up a little bit later. This guy is probably one of the worst overactors ever. Not the children, not the children.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking to myself too when I saw him going at it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I mean, like I know it's devastating. It's definitely a
Yeah,
devastating thing, but
definitely. Yeah. Probably he could have benefited from a second take, I would say. One time I did a triple feature watch along from dusk till dawn. Ooh,
wow,
cool.
that's pretty cool. I did a watch along for the movie From Dusk Till Dawn,
Oh
but
yeah,
it
you
was
did? Yeah.
only as long as the movie.
Bronson as a news reporter is like the Terminator as a pizza guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
can. Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't dispute that.
And here he's wearing a nice little silk robe, I guess.
Yeah.
He's definitely dressed a little bit more sort of sophisticated, I would say, in this film. More, yeah,
Yeah.
more like you would say a news reporter would look like. But yeah,
I don't know. I just, you know what I think it is. I think I'm thinking about sitting here thinking about it. I think it's the fact that he has a unique look, right? And even
definitely.
in his look and his speech, he's like one of those guys like that, like Jack Nicholson or like Christopher Walken. I got a unique look and a unique
Yeah,
speech, like. And I don't find it fits just like an average role reporter dude.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like having Christopher Walken as a reporter. Can you imagine seeing a reporter like Christopher Walken? That'd be so weird.
Hi, I would like to ask you some questions on this killing. Yeah.
You know what I
Actually, now I
mean?
want to see. Now I want to see Christopher Walken in this movie.
It's like when you have
Yeah,
they're like a character themselves, you know. So they're a little bit too much to be just playing an average dude as a reporter. So it doesn't really add up to me.
yeah. No, definitely, definitely.
You
Freeze
know,
too many
even
even
the
for
knit,
Garrett.
he's got like nice knit sweaters on and everything,
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
just looks like he should be wearing something a little bit more stylish and a little more tougher, like looking.
yeah.
You know, it's like
Definitely.
if you saw Clint Eastwood playing a librarian,
Yeah.
you'd be like, "What the hell?"
And he sort of did rock a sort of librarian look, I guess, in the beginning of what was it, Thunderbolt and Lifer, where he had sort of the glasses on, but he was a preacher in that opening, so it made a little bit more sense. And he
Mm.
wasn't hiding his character, so yeah, yeah. But seeing Clint Eastwood as a librarian or something, or even I don't think he's played a news reporter like Bronson has. I could be wrong. I mean, we got the Eastwood expert right here, and probably he could tell us. I'm actually blanking at the moment on his roles if he did a this sort of role.
I'm not an expert, but I can't think of any.
Yeah. I might be having a brain fart, but I don't remember Eastwood doing a sort of report. I don't know. Wait, he did True Crime from 1999. He
Mm.
played a reporter in that film.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Hmm.
probably Eastwood for Life fan is gonna say that in a few seconds here,
I'm
but
gonna have to refresh my
uh,
memory with that.
yeah. Death Wish 3, Murphy's Law, Hard Times, Mr. Majestic, 10 to Midnight, all great Bronson. Yeah, those are some great ones. Yeah. And we should mention Jason is going to be joining us this month for a Murphy's Law watch party. So I think that's
Oh, cool.
on the 18th, uh, I believe. If I could be mistaken.
That's all right, man. I was gonna say I like. I would have like suggested that, but it's a little bit of a long movie. But that's not, his face and the way he looked and everything is like from Once Upon a Time in the West. Man, is like
Yeah,
it looks that's the kind of stuff that he needs to be doing. You know what I mean? Like that. It's like a movie that's molded around and fits him perfectly. You know?
yeah, definitely. Especially that one. Yeah,
Yeah, in the way it's done, like the way obviously the way the westerns are done and the way they show his face and the way his face looks, it's like super like
Yeah,
iconic, like you know.
especially Once Upon a Time in the West, where he gets those great close-ups on his
Y-
face. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, so it's like, and he has a unique look, so it's like it amplifies that character, that persona of him, you know.
yeah,
So when you just see him driving around in a station wagon, looking like a normal dude, is and he's not even like getting angry or saying anything really. He's just like all super chill.
yeah. True. I guess the code was part of his dressing down a little bit more to play older and less active. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
guess,
guess
you know, I
so.
mean, we shouldn't forget Bronson at this point was 68, 69 at this time,
Holy shit, eh?
67 maybe. Yeah, he's getting up there in age. I think by the time you get to Death Wish 5 in 1994, he
Hmm.
was, I think, 73 when he did that film.
Oh, okay.
So definitely before Sly and Arnold did it, he was sort of like the first tough guy that was playing action films when he was in his
When he
70s
was
and
older, yeah.
60s and stuff. Yeah.
He looks in great shape though for his age. If he's like almost 70 there, he looks in great shape.
Yeah. Yeah, he's always sort of throughout his career stayed in great shape. He's always sort of maintained a sort of regular diet and exercise and stuff. He kept it up for very, very long. I think actually, by the time you do get to Death Wish 5, that's where you really see that he's starting to lose it right there. But yeah, obviously, at 73, I can't blame him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
By that
I mean,
point, yeah.
you got to give a guy a break, you know.
Oh, yeah, of course, Jason is doing his Rocky watch parties. Yeah, go check that out, guys. But of course, after
Oh
my
yeah.
stream. No, I'm kidding. If you guys want to jump to Jason, I'm all for that. Go right ahead and
All
do
right,
so.
Rocco.
Hey, you.
One of my favorite stand up comedy pieces is Eddie Murphy doing the Italians that
Oh,
see
yeah.
Rocky.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do comedy like that anymore these days. But
Yeah, that was a
I saw
great.
Eddie Murphy raw in the theater, man, and when I was
Oh,
like
yeah.
12 years old or something.
Yeah, that's a great comedy show with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
I love those Raw and what was the other one?
delirious.
Delirious. Yeah, love those shows. Out of the J. Lee Thompson movies, which one is your favorite? Well, for me, it's definitely 10 to Midnight, I would say.
I'd have to I'd have to check the list to see what's on there.
They did the first one was St. Ives. They did The White Buffalo, um, Cabo Blanco, 10 to Midnight, The Evil That Men Do, no, not Assassination, the Death Wish 4, this one, Conjecture Forbidden Subjects. I'm sure I'm forgetting. Oh, Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law is another one they did.
I haven't seen all of those. I'm going to go with Death Wish 4 out of all of that because I know that one's good. Saint Ives too. I have that one too, but I haven't watched it. I have it on tape
That's
with me.
actually, in a sort of way, it's similar to this one, where he sort of plays a different sort of character. He plays a former crime reporter who's now a novelist, and then he sort of gets hired to be this go-between for this old rich guy to sort of retrieve documents and has to do with money, and sort of it turns into a bit of a convoluted plot from there on. But that's actually a pretty good one. I would say that is this sort of role done much better. And that was in the 70s where he was still in his prime with his, he had black hair and black mustache and everything. And he was also in a great physique for that film as well.
Well, like I said before, if this movie, if he kicked somebody's ass at the beginning and then kicked somebody's ass somewhere around the middle, then the ending was like this, it would be not a bad movie.
Yeah, it's just lacking in action. Yeah.
Yeah, it just needs some ass kicking going on.
Yeah, St. Ives, I would say, has a little bit more action. I mean, you got a sort of scene in the middle of it. I don't want to spoil it because you haven't seen it, but you have a scene in the middle where Bronson actually gets ambushed by three people, and two of the people are very recognizable. That's a very young Jeff Goldblum, who of course was also one of the punks in the original Death Wish. He plays a
Okay,
punk in St. Ives as well,
right?
and also a pre-Freddy Krueger Robert Englund plays one of the
Oh,
punks
really?
in that scene. And
Cool.
there's a scene where Bronson goes down an elevator shaft. Yeah, he actually did the stunt, and he's hanging on to these sort of the cables from the elevator, which is pretty cool stunt.
Huh.
That's actually, yeah, there's definitely more action, I would say, in that film than this one.
Nice.
So St. Ives is definitely one that I would recommend.
I was just thinking about something that did you like the movie No Country for Old Men?
I've only seen it once, but I did enjoy that film. Yeah,
I thought it was a really good movie, but I found that at the end I didn't like the ending at all. I found the ending kind of ruined the whole movie for me.
Yeah,
because this got me thinking of it because I found that the whole movie was building up to something and it didn't pay off
yeah,
at the end. You didn't really get you didn't get the climax. You didn't get the satisfaction of what it was building up to.
yeah. I definitely see that because I think I was feeling that when I saw that film as well.
And I
Yeah,
find this movie's a little bit like that because it's building up and it's going in the right direction. It's getting you want to see some revenge. You want to see who the killers are. You want to see all those things, but it just kind of like gets to a point and then it just like stales out.
yeah. I can definitely see that. I can definitely see the comparison there too. Yeah. Yeah, because I remember thinking like I was really enjoying No Country for Old Men, but then it got to the end. It was sort of an open ending from what I remember, and sort of just abruptly sort of ended,
Yeah, like real
and
quick too.
and not really a resolution. Yeah,
Yeah, it blows my mind how
um,
nobody ever talks about that. And like, like the story, like I said, the story's leading up to something so well, and then right at the end, it happens so fast. Like the Colombians come, the Llewellyn or whatever his name is, he gets killed. You don't even see
yeah,
him get killed. He gets killed in the motel. They take off. The lad gets into an accident. He wanders off. That's the end of the movie.
yeah, true.
And you're like, what? Like it looked like to me like those guys had somewhere else to go, and they're like, okay, let's wrap this up. What can we
Yeah,
do? All right, the Colombians come. You're dead. You have a car accident. We're out of here. That's
yeah,
really how it looked to me, man. I was so disappointed with that movie at the ending. I was like, oh my god.
yeah. That's probably why I've only watched it once. I still have to rewatch. Maybe I like it more in the second watch, but
Bronson at 68 is equal to a normal man at 23.
yeah, I would I would say that he was very very fit.
Like I said, he
Eddie
looks
Murphy
healthy
doing
here,
the
man.
Italian American accent. Yeah, yeah, he
Yeah,
looks great
give
in
from
this
my
one.
candy. Yeah,
Get
he
the
looks
fuck
fit, man.
out of here!
He looks like he can like it's believable if he gets into a scrap and kicks somebody's ass. It looks
I
believable.
believe it.
He
Yeah.
looks like he can do it.
Yeah, Tenement Midnight is a good one. Bronson faces off with a nudist serial killer. Yeah, we did that one for those that haven't seen it yet. A couple of weeks ago, I did that with Gareth Video Tasties.
What year is that one done?
1983, so that's 40 years old now. Bloody hell.
Okay, so that's early '80s, and that storyline kind of sounded very '80s to me.
Yeah,
A nudist killer.
yeah, nude serial killer. But pretty much, it's like Bronson sort of slasher film. It's the closest he got to being in a slasher. And yeah, it was made in '83, like right after you got all those Friday the 13th films, the early ones, right when the
Okay,
slasher craze was hitting. So sort
right.
of cash in on that one. Anyway, for Carlos, the favorite of the Thompson films is The Evil Man Do, which is a good one, and the worst is Cabo Blanco. I would probably say that's my least favorite of theirs as well. I do like Cabo Blanco, but again, it's very very different for Bronson. Not much action. Um, yeah, not the greatest one. Not the
Mm.
greatest one. And Gareth has asked a question: what films has Bronson died in? Act of Vengeance. Yeah, I did see Act of Vengeance this weekend. Gareth actually sent me a VHS rip for that one because it's a very hard film to find on DVD and stuff.
Oh, really?
Actually, did see that film for the first time this weekend. He did die in that film. Spoilers. Which is a TV movie that he did in the mid '80s. Which
Mm.
is, I think, one of the last times he shaved off his trademark mustache for that film.
Oh, wow.
Um, so that's a chance to see Bronson in the '80s without his mustache. But yeah, that was a pretty good one. What other films has he died in? I think. Well, obviously, it would be spoilers if I mentioned them all. I think there are still a couple. Obviously, The Magnificent Seven. He doesn't make it out of that film.
Mm.
He survives The Great Escape. He survives The Dirty Dozen. Um, trying to think now. I'm sure there's another one that I'm missing. I think also in The Indian Runner, which he did in the early '90s with Sean Penn. He's only in it for a couple of scenes, but he doesn't make it out alive in that film. I haven't seen that one yet, but I have heard that. So other than that, I can't really think of which films he died in.
Hmm.
Best thing in
Go for
St.
that.
Eyes for Jacqueline Bisset. Yeah, that's another reason to check it out. Jacqueline Bisset. Yeah. Does he die? No, I think he makes it out in Someone Behind the Door. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I rewatched that film. That's actually my to watch file for this month.
I have a couple other Bronson movies too that ones you haven't mentioned yet. Like Is there one like Chino or something?
Yeah, Chino, also known as the Valdez horses. I do have that one. Yeah.
I have that one on tape. I have I think the Mechanic.
Oh yeah, the Mechanic. That's a classic.
I think I have that. I have that on tape too. I got a few of his. Like I got Death Wish, the original one, first one. I might have another one of the others. I have to go to all my stuff is like put away at the moment, so I had a hard time. It's also the tape that I had handy at the moment too.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, I know I got Death Wish, the first one downstairs, so I could have done that one.
All right.
Whatever. We're into it. It's going good.
Yeah, no Tash. That was another surprise, especially in the mid '80s, because yeah, famously he refused to shave his stash for a few films, like Telephone, which he did with director Don Siegel,
Hmm.
where he played a Russian KGB agent coming to the U.S. to stop Donald Pleasance, who was waking up sleeper agents from the KGB.
Right.
Don Siegel asked Bronson to shave his stash for that one, but he refused. He said famously, "No mustache, no Bronson." So he did for certain
Well,
roles he refused to shave it, but for that one he did, which was
short and sweet.
surprising. Yeah. Oh
No
yeah, the
mustache,
Seawolf.
no
Yeah,
Bronson.
it seems like he dies in his TV movies because the Seawolf was another TV film he did. Yeah.
Imagine turning down like doing a movie or money because of your mustache. It's craziness.
Now we have Yam Yam's moving talkies here. Watch your guys. Hope you're well. Absolutely love the stair scenes in this one. Yeah, that's pretty much the only great action scene with Bronson in this one. Absolute classic. Does he live through Death Hunt? Yeah, he does live through that one. He escapes right at the very end. He goes over the Canadian border. He goes over to Greater Pastures, if you will, but not.
Oh, he
He
comes to
doesn't die.
Canada, eh?
I think so because it's set in the Yukon, so he crosses over the mountains into Canada. I think.
There you go. Did Charlie Beach coming and hanging out in the Canada?
Yeah. Speaking of Cabo Blanco, I have a DVD of it. There's a black and white episode on it, which he breaks out of a military unit. I can't remember what it's called. Ooh, not familiar with that.
Hmm. Since you're such a big Charles Bronson fan, what did you think about? This has nothing to do with Charles Bronson, but what did you think about the movie Bronson with Tom Hardy?
Ah, yeah, with where he plays the UK prisoner, Charles Bronson. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I think that was brought up on the last stream. I do like that film with Tom Hardy. Yeah,
that's pretty
I
cool.
mean, I've always sort of been opposed to the prisoner himself because every time you Google Charles Bronson, you get him instead of this Charles Bronson.
That's what I was
It's
going
always
to
been
say. Is because that's a
it's
pretty
always been an
cool,
annoyance. Yeah.
like as a gangster name, like as like you know what, I want to be a tough guy. I'm going to call myself Charles Bronson.
Yeah, I do like that. I like the idea behind it, but like I said, it's annoying for a Bronson fan when you Google him and then you get the prisoner and you're like, no, I want to see the other Charles Bronson,
Yeah,
but yeah, I do like that he actually chose that because he actually considered Bronson to be so badass and he loved the name as a badass name. So
exactly. And what makes it even cooler is that it's not like an American guy who took the name. It's a UK dude,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And Charles Bronson's an American tough guy, so it's like it makes it a little bit cooler that way.
yeah, indeed, indeed. And I think Dan on the Mr. Majestic stream, I guess, he actually said that originally he was gonna, or somebody suggested go with Charlton Heston, but apparently he wasn't too much of a fan of Charlton Heston. I think he said something very derogatory.
Okay.
So, and I mean, I'm like, yeah, I think Bronson would kick Charlton Heston's ass. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm almost positive about that.
And here you have the old Mormon guy Willis. It's sort of implied he has like 5 or 6 wives, which I'm not too familiar with the Mormon culture, but apparently that's a thing with
I'm not,
Mormons.
I have no idea, but yeah, it definitely looks like he's got at least 4 wives.
Yeah. I do think I recognize this character actor. I think I saw his name pop up on the credits. Do have to double check. Um,
I do
yeah,
find
this
this
is
part.
This is John Ireland, a character actor who's appeared in a lot of westerns and B movie westerns and a lot of spaghetti westerns even as well, which I'm a big fan of. So
Right.
I've seen his face in a couple of films.
I found this part kind of like a little bit weird because they invite him. They invite him to lunch. He says, "I need to go wash up first."
Oh yeah, and he doesn't wash up. Yeah.
And then when he comes to the table, lunch is dinner, and all he gets is like a glass of peach juice, and the lunch is finished. Everybody walks away. So what did he even want to wash up for?
Yeah. Well, isn't it even like he says he wants to wash up and then they just go in and like one shot and he's at the table. He didn't even wash up to
Yeah,
begin
that's
with.
what, but
So
why is that even in the movie though? Why is that not edited out? Like it has nothing to do with the movie.
yeah. Well, Canon wasn't known for their continuity, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's when you're doing like ideas on the
Like their
fly
calls.
and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
You got a lot of footage to go through and put and piece together, and
It's crazy.
and it's the other part is like they're allowed to just like kill people whenever they want because they're Mormons.
Yeah, I have no idea how that works.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, you can't the law can't come on their land because they're Mormons. I don't know if that's I don't
Oh,
know if that's accurate.
yeah, I did find out a little bit of trivia about the water trucks. Apparently, as this was filmed around the same time as Over the Top, another Canon classic, and I
Right?
do mean that one. I do love that film with Stallone.
So do I. I
Um,
love that movie.
yeah, we should have watched that one.
I would have been down for that, man.
Well, no, apparently the water trucks is the same trucks that they use in Over the Top for his truck, for Stallone's truck.
Oh,
They just
really?
removed the Lincoln Lock logo, the Lincoln Hawk logo, and they just put the Colorado Water Company logo on it over it.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! I didn't know that. That's I'm gonna have to pay attention better the next time I see it.
We got it
Yeah, man, I thought
on
Over the
the.
Top was cool. I love that's one of my like
Yeah,
guilty
I love
pleasures
that
of
film.
childhood movies. There, you can see it well. There, yeah,
Let's see. Yeah, when
oh
I look
yeah,
at it, it does look like Lincoln Hawk's
it
truck.
definitely
Yeah.
does. It definitely does.
Oh yeah, and there you see the Colorado Water Company. Yeah, that is plastered over where the Lincoln Hawk logo would be. Yeah.
Huh,
Yeah, when I read that, I was like, I never noticed that before, and I'm a big over the top fan. So
right. I recently saw the Joker, the big Joker. The big goblin face that they used in Maximum Overdrive.
oh yeah,
Yes, I saw it at the convention a couple weekends ago.
cool,
And
cool.
apparently, Captain Adam was telling me that the truck they used for that movie was a Canadian truck. So
Mm.
that's pretty cool. Now he's flying the private jets.
Yeah, and then you have this local reporter that he sort of hooks up with here, and she sort of just disappears from the story from this point on.
Yeah.
You think it's going somewhere with her, maybe, but no.
No, he comes back and she helps him out another time or something. But
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, but other than that, she pretty much disappears for like most of the middle part of the film.
yeah, the water company, and he's hanging with all these like
Yeah,
uppity like
yeah, upper
politicians and
class.
rich people.
Yeah, I did find that interesting that he actually attends two black tie events in this film. Like he has a right hand towards the end of the film as well.
Yeah.
Which I'm trying to remember if there are other films where Bronson appears in a tuxedo. I'm sure there are a couple, but this is a notable one for sure where he does it twice in the same film.
Yeah.
Was he trying to be like James Bond or something?
It's funny too because like you said, the chick is like obviously like she looks like she could be like 30 years younger than him, or
Yeah.
maybe even more.
Yeah, at least I'm not sure what her age would have been at this point, but she looks like in her 30s or something. And like I said, he was in
Yeah,
his
well, she could.
60s.
She looked like she could be like late 20s, early 30s, or she could be a little bit
Yeah,
older than that.
yeah,
Well, let's say she's 30, and he's 68, almost 70. That's almost, you know what I
yeah.
mean? That's almost
It's a
40
big
years.
age gap. Yeah,
40 years, Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is what makes it a little long-winded, though. Is a lot of this. There's a lot of like talking around the table like this, and
yeah. A lot
I'm
of
gonna find out.
working
You're
out the
asking
mystery.
questions, no one's answering
Yeah.
them.
I was wondering about this. Yeah, he's just asking me questions.
There's a little bit of like a little bit of an error in the dialogue because he asked the question. He asked them what's new, and then they start asking him, and he says, "You really want to talk about this?"
Oh yeah,
And he's like, and then they say, "Well, you write about it," and he's like, "Well, I guess you're right." But he's like, "You really want to talk about it? You're the one who brought up the subject."
yeah.
He asked him if there's any news, and then they get into it, and he's like, "Oh, you really want to talk about it?" Like, well, yeah, you just you just brought it up. I tend to notice things like that about movies, man. Makes me
Yeah.
laugh. I
I
used to
do
do a
recognize
podcast.
otherwise this guy here, the guy who was sort of the chief of police who's going to be elected for mayor, who's
Hmm.
running for mayor. He was in A View to a Kill, the Bond film with Roger Moore. He played the mayor of San Francisco, I think, in that film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's like the only other thing I recognize this dude from. But yeah, he has one of those faces. Like once you see him,
He looks
he
weird,
stands
man.
out.
I find he looks
Yeah,
weird, especially when he does his speech. There's a part where he does his speech, and he looks like he could be like an alien trying to be a human.
that's what I say. I mean, at least he has a face that stands out. So when I watched this for the first time, I was like, I recognize that guy, and I thought it was from a Bond film, and then I looked it up, and yeah, he was in A View to a Kill, and I was like, oh yes, of course, that's only like 2 years before this film,
Hmm.
so that makes sense. But yeah, now we go back to the what is this, the Mormon's place again? Some more investigating.
Yeah.
Right, that's a good question, Gareth, but it's a very easy answer. I don't think he killed a single person in this film.
Nobody. He punches a guy and
It sort
he
of
punches and kicks a guy a couple times. That's it.
it sort of looks like they're going the same route as Dirty Harry and Sudden Impact, where he scared that old mafioso into having a heart attack. They sort of go for that here, and I think it's in this scene that's coming up here. Yeah, there's old
Yeah.
guy with the big bushy
Yeah.
eyebrows right over there.
That's what he does.
He's sort of acting like he has a heart attack, but then yeah, you find out it's an act. So would have been cool if Bronson was that intimidating. He would scare a guy into having a heart attack like Clint Eastwood did, but they don't follow up on it, unfortunately.
And that leads up to a cool scene, which is kind of a little bit out of place because he's kind of like super chill and everything, and then he decides to just to blow a hole in a to shoot a shotgun and blow a hole in the coffin out of nowhere, like something like
Yeah,
a badass, you know? Like I just found that didn't I
Charlie
don't know.
doesn't suit a bow tie somehow. Yeah, I mean, I guess anybody I think would look okay in a tuxedo. I mean, every guy looks great in a tuxedo, but it is a little weird seeing Charlie in it. Yeah, especially when you're used to his sort of Death Wish persona, where he has his street clothes on. He sort of dresses more like he belongs to the streets and stuff. But
Yeah, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. That's why you can definitely notice like the knitted sweaters that he's wearing in this and that.
yeah,
Like in the picture below you right there, you know, like
Mm, yeah. All right, now this guy's supposedly dead. He had a heart attack.
yeah. And they don't want him there. They want him out of there.
Because how do they call it? He's a Gentile. He's an outsider. Yeah,
That's right.
and they keep repeating that you're a Gentile.
A Gentile.
Old guy was Ice-T's buddy in surviving the game. Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, really? I just picked up that too on VHS the past Sunday. Yesterday, actually, yeah.
Apparently, the old guy's in that.
Surviving the game.
And this is a scene where all the VHS and DVD covers are based on. This is the only scene where he is going to wield a gun, a rifle,
Yeah.
shotgun, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and right in front of everybody, all those people, he decides to like do that, you know?
Yeah.
Because you know it's a pretty because listen, he notices that none of the men are there.
Yeah, that's how he pieces it together, doesn't he? Yeah.
Right. So he notices none of the men are there, so he knows they're gone to wherever they were going to go that he didn't want them to go to begin
Yeah.
with. But that doesn't mean that coffin is empty.
Yeah.
You know, they could still be going there with the guy still being dead.
Yeah, playing dead. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have to be playing dead. They just write it that way, but he could be really dead in there.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? Instead of just walking over and lifting up the lid, I'm gonna blow some holes in it.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's definitely a shotgun. Yeah.
You know, it would have been way more matching to the movie if he just walked over and lifted up the lid and seen there was nobody there.
Yeah.
But I guess they needed him to hold a gun for the picture of the cover So
Yeah, that's the only thing I can imagine. It's like, yeah, we have to sell this as a Bronson film somehow. Yeah.
yeah,
Have you heard the Charles Bronson lookalike actor called Robert Kovacs? Yeah, he's also known as Robert Bronzy, Hungarian actor who looks a lot like Bronson indeed. Yeah, he's been in a film called Death Kiss, who's, yeah, obviously it's a ripoff on Death Wish.
oh really?
Um,
I'm gonna check him
yeah,
out.
yeah, it's pretty decent. I've seen about two of his films. He's done a couple where he definitely looks like Bronson. He's rocking the same stash and everything. Yeah, they definitely could be like twins almost, but he doesn't have the same charisma as Bronson. He doesn't speak English too well, so I think he's always dubbed in his films.
Okay,
But you know, for straight to DVD films, they're pretty decent. I
I'm
would
gonna
say
check it out.
they're better than Seagal's. I would say better
I'm
than
curious
Seagal's
to see
recent
how.
efforts. Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah,
The horror
unfortunately,
cat
it's not
dad
saying
Larry
much.
was in the house. Hey
Hey,
Larry.
horror cat, that was happening, man.
Yeah, that's true. He doesn't actually shoot anyone. Yeah, there was nobody in that coffin.
Yeah, well, he has two scuffles in this whole movie. He has two scuffles. They're with the same guy, and he gives the guy like a bleeding nose, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it indeed.
But he does throw him down. He
Oh
does
yeah,
kick him down the stairs, so there's a little bit of that.
yeah. But yeah, he definitely should have had like even just if it was like one fist fight or something like right there in the middle section of the film, that would have been definitely much better.
Oh yeah, it would have made everything else acceptable if he just had a little taste of Bronson in it. But
Yeah,
they missed opportunities because they definitely could have put fights in there.
yeah, definitely. I mean, right here, I think this is the scene where we're gonna get that big shootout between the two families. I think
Yeah,
that's coming up now. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna say he should have participated and kill a couple of guys here because obviously these Mormons are basically they're innocent. They haven't really
yeah,
done
he's trying to be
anything.
neutral,
Yeah,
but they still could have made him like they could if they wanted them to be a little more actiony. They could have made him like disarm some guys and try to stop them. You
yeah,
know.
exactly. Yeah. Funny thing about Bronson, he looks tough and rugged, and by his look, you expect him to have a husky, rugged voice, but he's actually softly
Yeah,
spoken. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
that's true. His voice is pretty soft.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did notice that in the scene where he's sitting in that car. He doesn't do seatbelts. Yeah. But then I've noticed a lot of people in these 80s films, they don't do seatbelts.
Yeah, they also like to drink alcohol while they drive.
That's another thing. Yeah, I noticed that in like Lethal Weapon. Riggs and Murtaugh, they're drinking beer, and then Riggs is going to hit the road. Yeah.
Oh man, in '80s movies, there's people drinking and driving like crazy, man.
Drinking and driving, yeah. I think even Clint that did that in Every Which Way But Loose.
Yeah,
He's
most
drinking
likely.
beer in the truck with the orangutan next to him. Yeah.
I'm sure I'm not 100%, but I'm sure he had. There's a scene where he drives drunk in uh, in Heartbreak Ridge.
Oh yeah, yeah, I think so. I think you're right there.
I could be wrong though,
Right,
but
right after he has that scene with the woman. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
yeah, he leaves her house or whatever. She kicks him out.
yeah, and she throws the beer at him, and then he
Yeah,
leaves and has the beer. Yeah, I think you're right. Which if Garrett is still there, that's still a watch party we have to do, Gareth. Heartbreak Ridge. I'll be down for that one.
that's one of my favorite ones of his. I
Yeah, I
love that
love that
movie. It's,
film.
it's also the timing of it. From when I saw it as a kid, I loved it. It was I like the story too. Like he gets the just like he starts off in jail.
Yeah, I
Some
do like
big
that
dude,
opening.
some big
Yeah,
dude throws weight around then and he beats the shit out of him. That's a good way to start the movie.
here we go with the shooting. Yeah, the shootout starts. I do find it funny, like in the middle of the battle when Bronson sort of gets that towel or whatever it is, and he starts screaming like "Hey, hey!" He sort of sounds like Grandpa Simpson when he shouts there. I mean, I
Yeah,
love Bronson; he's tough and everything, but in that moment,
yeah, that's yeah.
it sounds weird.
I would have went with something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's swinging that towel around,
Hey, stop firing! Yeah.
and this is where he tells them it's the water company.
Yeah.
They want to buy his property.
I mean, it is good that we have a little action scene, a little shootout, but yeah, you just wish Bronson would have participated a little bit, which is a shame. Yeah, here he goes. He's going with the towel.
There he goes.
Hey, Willis!
Hold your fire.
Yeah, when he says "hold your fire" and Willis, he definitely sounds like Grandpa Simpson.
Yeah, and even his demeanor though, he's like, you see how he's just standing there leaning on the thing. He's just like he doesn't seem like anything's urgent at all. Like he's super chill. Like he's just standing there saying his lines, you know, like
Yeah. Hey, that would have definitely improved the film big time if he had his mail order while the Magnum. Yeah, Death Wish 3. Which is coming up on Wednesday. I should plug that one. Oh, no, wait. Wednesday is Buckwall with Death Wish 2. I think Thursday is Death Wish 3. I have a couple of these planned. I do forget the dates a little bit. I got to mix up, but
right.
Death Wish 2 and 3 are coming up, that's for sure.
2 and 3.
Bronson is a big actor, but he's underrated in all fairness. I'd like to have seen him play more baddie roles because of his look. He'd look the part of a baddie, but he's a goody action hero. Yeah, he's done a couple of baddies early on in his career before he was a star, but yeah, once he turned big, obviously he was the on-screen hero more than the
Yeah,
antagonist. Yeah,
but he definitely could be a villain.
yeah, definitely.
Got
That's why
that.
I did the recommendation in my Bronson recommended underrated films video, which I did this Friday. I did recommend the film Drumbeat from 1954, which is one of his early films where he really has a big role and he plays the main villain in that film. He's actually really good in that film as the villain.
Okay.
That's what I recommend as a villain role for him.
I'll have to check that out. It's cool when
And
villains.
here we get the
Villains.
reveal of, yeah, there he is, Gene Davis,
Oh yeah.
who was the killer in 10 to Midnight.
And he's also the killer in this.
Yeah, one of the killers anyway. But unlike 10 to Midnight, he does grow a bit of a conscience in this one, and he tries to, well, save his hide, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess at this point, I should read the little quote that he has in the Bronson Sleuth's book, because Paul Talbot has interviewed Gene Davis for his book. And this is how he got to be in Messenger of Death. He says, I was out of work and I had 2 kids. I went to J. Lee Thompson and I said, I need a job. And he said, I'll find something for you. He actually wrote that part for me. J. Lee was the kindest human being I have ever met since I've been out there. We did my scene up in Canyon Country. Jail Island fell ill during Messenger of Death, and Charlie was having a hard time. I never saw Charlie after that. End of quote. So that's how Gene Davis got to be in this film. He was out of work. He needed some money. And he called up J. Lee Thompson, the director, and asked him if he had something for him. So they wrote actually that part of the second killer for him.
Shit, eh? That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Call up your buddies and call up your buddy and you got a part in the movie.
Can recognize Gene Davis with his clothes on. Yeah, it's a different look for him. Yeah, no, that's pretty nice that they were friends. What was the pretty mainstream movie in the 90s where he had a supporting role? I guess you're referring to the Indian Runner, which was Sean Penn's first film as a director, where Sean Penn had a part, especially for Bronson in that film. Yeah, I think that's probably the most mainstream one that he did in the 90s, aside from Death Wish 5, maybe. But are there any films you can think of where you'd like Bronson to have played? I guess a villain, maybe? Are there any films you can think of where you'd like Bronson to have played a villain, I think? Or any films I would like to have seen him in, I guess? I've often thought he'd be a great villain in Dirty Harry, but he would never have been killed by Eastwood. Yeah, I mean, I've always said that like a Bronson Eastwood team up would have been like one of the most awesome things you can even conceive. That would have been, I think, too much testosterone on one screen to handle for people, but it would have been so awesome.
Yeah, that would have been epic, man.
Yeah, Death Wish and Dirty Harry team up. Yeah, I'll be down for that.
Well, maybe even if they would have like faced off, even if they had like a fist fight, would have been pretty cool.
Yeah. I guess the closest, sadly, we got is an episode of Rawhide, where Clint Eastwood, of course, he was the star of that show for many years, and Charles Bronson had a guest appearance on that show, and they do have a scene in that show, in that episode. That's the closest we got, unfortunately. They should have definitely done a big production film together. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Bronson was actually an Indian in Apache. Yeah, that's another film where he was in with Burt Lancaster, but I can't remember if Bronson got killed in that one. I'm having a tough time remembering that as well right now. He would have been a good Colonel Troutman. Yeah, I can see that, but then again, I can't see anybody but Richard Crenna in that role now. But probably could have been a Colonel Troutman. But I don't think in the '80s he would have done a supporting role like that. Man, who knows? That's it, the Indian Runner. Yeah, never seen it, but heard it's pretty good. Yeah, it's a pretty decent one. I still have to track down a copy for it.
I haven't seen it either.
Don't have a copy for it, but I have to track it down. It's pretty good. Yeah, Heat, but then Bronson versus Eastwood. Yeah, Heat like Pacino and De Niro. Can you imagine that scene on the coffee table with Bronson and Eastwood?
I was about to bring that up, that it would have been is equal to that.
Yeah. Can you imagine that scene? Like, it's going to be tough, but when it comes down to it, I'm going to have to take you down. I won't like it, but I'll do it. There's a flip side to that coin.
Yeah.
But if you do get me boxed in, then I got to put you down. Because no matter what, I will not hesitate. Yeah, I can see that scene with the two of them.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
Kurt is great, but I think he could have done this Snake Plissken justice. Yeah, it depends on what Carpenter would have been going for. I think Bronson was a original choice for Snake Plissken, but I think then Carpenter was like, I think he's a little too old for it. But I don't know. I can see Bronson. I mean, I can't see him with the eye patch necessarily. That would have been a little weird. But I would have definitely liked to have seen it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. I like Kurt though.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't.
By the way, they also worked together, Kurt and Bronson. When Kurt was just a little boy, I think 6 or 7 years old, something like that. When he was a child actor, he actually did a project with Bronson.
Oh yeah,
which I can't remember the title of it. I think it was also like a television series, I think, that they did a couple of episodes together on. Yeah. Maybe some Bronson aficionado can point it out for us. I forgot the title at this moment. And obviously, I don't have any devices at the ready because I'm recording the TV with my phone, and this is my iPad that I'm recording this with. So I can't Google it at this
now there's
moment.
2 trucks trying to kill him.
Yeah, and apparently both of the trucks are props from the over the top film, which of course they had a couple of stunt trucks for that film. But and actually, this is now the point where I see it because they have the side flaps. You have suicide and passing side. Yeah, that's exactly what Lincoln Hawk had on his truck. I do like that car crash there.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Obviously in the days before CGI, I appreciate those scenes.
Yeah, for sure. I like those old Broncos too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, explosion!
Oh shit!
At least this film got a bit of a budget, it seems.
If you look at it, you can see the explosion happens before it hits it.
Yeah. All right, Anthony Chabot. Hope I pronounced it right, buddy. Does pop culture and openings. Hello, buddy. By the way, got another chance to be voted for YouTube Entertainer of the Month.
Yeah, yeah. Professor nominated him again. YouTuber Entertainer of the Month.
I don't think the professor is here, but if he's watching, congratulations, Professor, for winning.
Yes, he did. It's kind of early for the professor. I think he's like 3 hours behind me in time. So
yeah.
And now he's sitting in his nice suit.
Yeah.
Mr. Fox.
Gar here's got some questions.
Good to see you, Homer. Who owned that Colorado Water Company?
She owns it, but does she actually run it?
Does not. Yeah, that chief guy. The chief guy's got he looks like an old man baby.
Yeah, I guess.
He looks like a baby old man.
I can see that.
Got a weird face to him, man.
Very
you
weird.
You can see it well too when he does the speech. I don't know if we passed that part yet, but I think it's coming up. He does the speech.
Yeah, I think that's coming up. Yeah.
His face is weird.
I do like the line that he says at the final party where he has his wife next to him. He says to one of the guys, like, I can't drink on the job. She won't let me drink at home. So this is the only chance I get. I do like that. I like that line. Yeah. Thought that was a pretty funny one.
Yeah.
And now he's here at the social dinner again, asking more questions, which is
more questions, just sitting down talking.
90% of this film.
Exactly. It's like, okay, man, like smash the table and flip the table or something. Do something.
Yeah, shoot something. Come. You're Charles Bronson. Shoot somebody.
Yeah. We'll say,
I
"Oh,
think
sorry, I thought he had
Gauntlets.
a gun."
Yeah, it feels like a Bronson film, but he would never have let Ireland do that scene on the train. Yeah, that's true. I do like the Gauntlet as well. It's another one of my favorite Eastwood films. Death Wish 1 through 5. I cannot see anyone but Charles Bronson playing Paul Kersey. Yeah, definitely. I'd never see the Bruce Willis one, as I'm not a Bruce Willis fan. There's only one Paul Kersey, and that's Charles Bronson. I couldn't have said it better. I mean, I am a fan of Bruce Willis as well, but I haven't. I have seen the Bruce Willis Death Wish film. I didn't like it too much, and I probably will never watch it again. But yeah,
Yeah, it
there's
wasn't.
definitely only one. There's only one Paul Kersey, and that's definitely Bronson. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that movie, Hardcore, with what was it, George C. Scott?
I thought you were talking about hardcore with because Van Damme also did a straight to video film called The Hardcore.
No,
No,
it's an
I
early.
haven't seen the George C. Scott one. I think
Yeah,
not that I can remember
he's like a
anyway.
preacher. He's like a preacher somewhere, and his daughter goes missing, and she ends up being like forced into porn in L.A.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
he leaves his town, stops being a preacher, goes to L.A., becomes like a porn maker and everything to find his daughter, and kills everybody.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, it's hardcore. That's why it's called hardcore.
That would be one I have to check out. Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds
check it
definitely
out, man.
right up
You
my
like
alley.
stuff around that revenge
Yeah,
movie kind of stuff there.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
And I remember that movie because he doesn't look George C. Scott don't look like that kind of guy, you know. But
Yeah. See, what's this? Second favorite film of all time is Cape Fear with Nick Nolte. Oh yeah, and Robert De Niro. Yeah. Nick
that's a
Nolte is
good
my
one.
favorite actor of all time, but I could see Bronson playing Sam Bowden, Nick Nolte's character. Actually, I could see that as well, but
Yeah, I
I
can
do
see
think
that.
Nick Nolte is great in that film. But I can see Bronson in that role. Yeah, would have been awesome to see Bronson versus De Niro in that final scene.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think I think I would give more of a chance to Bronson in that scene, but but De Niro was ripped for that film for that
Oh yeah,
role.
he looked
So
great in that movie, man.
yeah, Counselor. I do love that film. Yeah, even though Nolte was perfect. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Michael Myers has seen Hardcore. Remember it being quite good, mostly because of Scott. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's a decent flick, and it's got like I said, the storyline's pretty hardcore. So
yeah. I'm gonna add it to my list. It sounds definitely right up my alley, for sure. You could have done a Nick Nolte role in Extreme Prejudice. That is still a Nick Nolte film I'm yet to see. I think that's Walter Hill who directed that film, right? If I'm not mistaken.
not sure.
That's one I still have to check out actually. Yeah. Oh, and there's a reunion, the 10 to Midnight reunion of Bronson and Gene Davis together again.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah, it's Michael Myers or somebody else pointing out, I forget who, but obviously Gene Davis is not naked for this one.
Now that you tell me that that they added him into the movie as like a favor, you can kind of see
Yeah,
it.
makes more sense, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the movie could have probably went the whole same way without that.
Yeah, probably.
He was just a driver.
$50,000. I'm gonna have to ask my editor for the okay.
Was he won 50,000?
Yeah.
$50,000.
The killer hired me. Who hired the killer? He has no idea. Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't really offer too much information for Bronson, but
No, he's like, no deal.
Extreme Prejudice is a classic. Yeah, I still, like I said, I still have to see that film. Pretty much every 80s tough guy you could name, just not the big stars.
Hmm. I have a feeling I've seen that. I can't be certain though. I have to double check.
He's going to the men's room.
Oh, my dog is here bugging the shit out of me. Such a pain in the ass. Go lay down.
Go play in the corner somewhere.
Yeah, and the worst part is he's deaf. So when I tell him to
Ah,
beat it, he doesn't listen.
he doesn't even, yeah.
Oh, he just stands there and just keeps bugging. This guy here is like pretty, he's got some balls on him. He just comes out of nowhere, following people,
Yeah.
ready to throw down at any time.
And he takes care of business.
Go lay down.
I love to see Nolte and Bronson actually film together, two tough, rugged blokes who are genuine tough guys. Be great if they teamed up in the end and fought the bad guys. Yeah. There's so many great team ups that he could have done with some great people. Like, I mean, Eastwood would be the prime one for sure.
For sure.
And even, yeah, Chuck Norris. I mean, he was originally going to be with Chuck Norris in the Delta Force. That would have been awesome. But then obviously
Yeah,
they went for Lee Marvin, which was also pretty cool. But
yeah,
imagine if that was the two Chucks teaming up in a Cannon film. That would have
that'd
been,
have been pretty cool. Yeah.
yeah, he doesn't do a Spanish dirty talk in that one. Yeah. At 10 at midnight, he's like, hey, baby, ¿cómo está? How's it been? Yeah. And unfortunately, I think this is also the exit of Gene Davis's character right here coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, he looks like he's still peeing, but then he tips over. Yeah, he's been stabbed in the
He's
back.
been stabbed in the kidney.
Yeah. And down he goes.
It's funny thing too about this movie is that all the damage. There's a lot of damage to the kidneys in this movie.
Mm.
Like he just dies with a stab into the kidney, and then when you watch the only fight scene that he has, he punches that dude in the
Oh, yeah,
kidney like a bunch of times.
true. Yeah. Yeah, I guess this is the Bronson film where they wanted to do some damage to the kidneys. Yeah. Fair point.
Kidney blow, kidney blow, kidney blow.
Yeah, we finally have Bronson doing some action.
Yeah, you got a little action going on here. It's not all kinds of action though.
Yeah. At this point, we're what, like 1 hour and 11 minutes into the film is what my
Yeah,
timer says there.
he takes care of this guy with a plastic garbage bin.
Yeah.
Pushes him out the window.
And look, he survives. He walks off. Yeah.
Yeah, he fell into like a whole lot of garbage.
I mean, that's standard Bronson stuff because I think even in Death Wish 5, Bronson himself, he jumps off the roof of a building and then he also lands on a couple of garbage bags and yeah, he just walks off. So that seems to be a Bronson thing.
A lot of garbage around where he is.
Yeah. Usually he's cleaning up the garbage, but
No.
not so much in this one.
He takes out the garbage and he jumps in the garbage.
The biggest one you've ever seen. Yeah, reading the lines makes me want to watch 10 at midnight again. Matthew Binney, our fellow, or your
Classic
fellow, I guess,
bloody
VHS collector. Yeah.
people.
People.
What's happening, Matthew?
Hey, Matthew. Good morning. I guess it's now
Yes,
very
good
early in the
morning to
morning for you. Yeah. Not sure if this exists, but Bronson and Nicholson in the film. Ooh, another cool team up. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that'd
agree.
be all right.
Lee Marvin is a very underrated actor as well. Was great, had great depth with his acting and can play almost any genre. He's great in The Dirty Dozen with Bronson. Yeah, absolutely. That's a classic. I did watch that one again yesterday, The Dirty Dozen. It's a
I haven't
great
seen that
film.
one in a while.
Yeah, I mean, it was about, I guess, 3, 4, 5 years maybe even since I last saw it. I really had a good time with it again last night. Bronson was taking out the trash in that scene. Yeah, he was definitely giving it an attempt. Yeah,
He
I'll
definitely
give
was.
him an A for effort. Yeah. Oh, let's see. It's 9:51 in the morning in South Australia. Yeah,
Oh, all right.
so it's almost 10 a.m. Yeah.
You having some breakfast? What are you having for breakfast?
Oh yeah.
What do you have for breakfast in South Australia? Eggs and bacon?
Some shrimp on the barbie.
Get some shrimp on the barbie. Do you have any alligator?
Down under.
Do you have any kangaroo? Any koala?
I feel like the 80s were Bronson's leading man years, so he wouldn't have wanted to share the screen with any other big stars. Yeah, especially with the Canon films, indeed.
Yeah.
In England, it's 11:21 p.m. Yeah, it's now past midnight here over here in the Netherlands, so we're an hour ahead of the UK. Crazy how times are different at the same moment in different locations. Yeah, that's always been so weird. Like for Rob, it's now it's almost like 6 p.m. What is now?
6:22
Yeah,
here.
6:22. Yeah. For Matthew, it's very early in the morning. I'm ahead of an hour ahead of my UK friends. So yeah, it's crazy. All these different time zones. Yeah, because I think you're on the Eastern time, and then you have the Pacific time as well, which they're, I guess, 3 hours or 4 hours like different with your time zones. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, something like that. That's what the professor's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, here comes the speech for the weird
Oh
chief.
yeah. Yeah, for the election. Yeah.
This part made me laugh too because the dude, the killer dude's like staring at him, like
Yeah.
serving the champagne and staring at him like a crazy person. So yeah, this guy introduces the chief, and then the chief goes up there and look at his baby face.
Yeah. Now that you said babyface, I will never stop calling this guy a grown ass babyface. Yeah. Now once you see it, you can't unsee it.
He's like so white and round, and
Yeah.
he's like an old man baby. He looks like a cross between an old man and a baby.
He really does. Yeah.
Even when he smiles, his cheeks and that.
Wait, let me get a close up. Want the audience to see this as well. Come on, give this guy a close up again. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, he really does look like that.
He does. He stick like a nipple in his mouth or something, like a cyst or something like that. You see a baby right away.
Yeah, and there's no way Canon could have afforded Clint Eastwood at that point. Yeah, that is true. Very true. Ah, speaking of the professor, here he is. Greetings and
Greetings and
salutations,
salutations
professor.
is he.
I'm going to give the professor one in the Bronson voice. Greetings and salutations, professor.
There you go. The YouTube Entertainer of the Month.
Indeed. Give it up for the professor.
Especially the close up on his face. The close up on his face before he stops his speech is like the way he's smiling. It's
Oh,
hilarious.
yeah.
Looks like a giant baby just looking for diapers.
He should have been in that scene in Stop and My Mom Will Shoot, where Sly is wearing the diaper in that one scene. That should have been that guy.
Yeah. So look, now you're like what? Say it's like over an hour, approaching like an hour and a half. Somewhere about an hour, right in the movie,
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
yeah.
A little over an hour, and you're still waiting for some like besides that one little kind of thing that happened. You're still like, okay, when is he gonna unravel this and then kill everybody?
Yeah. And he says, "We can't talk here. My study is upstairs." So he goes there. Yeah, he's still trying to piece it together. He hasn't figured it out yet, and we're almost done with the film. Actually,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's about 10 minutes left. Yeah,
That's what I was thinking to myself while I was watching it earlier. I was
yeah,
like,
because what has he got so far? He knows that the water company is involved. He has seen and fought with the killer. The other guy got killed, the Gene Davis character. Like, other than that, he doesn't really have too much, I guess.
yeah, he doesn't like. He knows that they wanted his land, so
Yeah,
and then the other guy who got killed told him that it was the water company who hired the people. Well, kind of alluded to that. So right now, all he thinks is that they wanted his land, and maybe he started the fight between the two families, but that's it.
yeah,
And another thing too is like, what is the fight between the two families going to do? Like, is that what is that?
yeah. I guess because the families they refuse to sell out, so they figure like let them kill each other, and then we get the land. Or I guess.
Yeah, well, I guess so. But and here's a classic case of like this dude should have walked in the room and shot him right away,
Yeah,
and then did all this stuff. But instead, he
yeah.
does all this stuff first and and talks too much.
Like
Classic
Arnold
mistake.
would say in Last Action Hero, you made the classic movie mistake.
That's right.
Yeah,
Classic mistake, man.
yeah,
He didn't know that Bronson was quick on the draw, turned the lights out, jumped on his back, gave him a cat spring kick, and
yeah. All that for a 67, 68-year-old man. Yeah,
yeah,
bastard child killer.
yeah.
Yeah, finally we get to see Bronson kicking some ass.
And this is the and only time you'll really see him kicking some ass.
True. Yeah, and it's almost at the end of the film. Yeah.
Yeah. Throws this guy down the stairs, trips him. He trips him too. That was pretty funny. Like when you used to trip a kid in school back when you were young, he trips him the exact
Yeah.
same way.
Hey, he goes down the stairs there. Yeah. Gonna give us a name, yes?
Yeah.
Is this the line?
I was
Yeah,
like,
there it
no,
is.
no.
No, boom.
Boom. Like they give you a little taste of it. They give you a small little taste of it, but it's very small and it's
Yeah,
right at the end of the movie.
yeah. And it doesn't last long enough. Yeah.
No.
And here comes the chief with his little
Yeah,
48
little
snub
pistol.
nose revolver. Yeah. His little cold detective special, I guess. Yeah. Whenever I see the cannon opening, oh yeah, I love that cannon opening with the two C's coming together. Yeah. Always, well, except for this case, always makes for great entertainment. Can't see the cannon logo.
Yeah, I like the Canon one and I like the media one.
Mm. Thank God Bronson never did any dumb comedies. That's true. He never really did any of those films. Yeah. Love this scene. Love this scene. Love this scene. Oh, he really loves this scene, I guess.
Nice.
The classic bad guy with talks too much. Yeah, like Tommy Lee Jones in Under Siege as well. He does that. Yeah, he gives the entire speech, and then Seagal's like, "Boom, there goes your
Yeah.
gun." Bronson foo.
But it's one of those things that if they introduced a guy just walking into the room and shooting somebody right away, then there'd be no story.
Yeah, true. Definitely the classic movie mistake.
Or another thing, if they started making gunshots accurate, the movies would be over.
Yeah.
Nobody gets shot in the movie, man, unless they're supposed to get shot in the script. But
Yeah,
there's
that plot
guns going
armor.
off, people getting shot, people running through gunshots all the time and never getting hit. Never.
Like in episode 18, yeah.
Yeah. But it happens like crazy in movies these days, man. Like nobody, I don't even know why people use guns anymore in movies
Yeah,
because
very
nobody
true.
gets hit.
Nobody has good aim. Yeah.
Oh man. And then you got one guy like John Wick who shoots everybody one shot.
Yeah, true.
It's very inconsistent, the gunfire in movies.
And now Homer Fox is revealed as being behind it all.
Yeah.
Finally, we got the mystery unraveled here. Oh, and then he goes for the gun like the chief has, the little pistol, little revolver.
Oh, your TV's gone.
I'll be back. Let's see. Oh, it logged out
It's
for
all
some reason.
eyes. Nothing like breaking down. It's another thing too. You always wonder, like, why does the bad guy always like break down at the end and say all
Yeah.
kinds of incriminating stuff about himself? Like he's
There
about
we
to
go.
shoot the dude. He's about to shoot the dude right in front of everybody. Like, yeah, like you just got caught
Yeah.
doing all kinds of shit. Now you're gonna make yourself a killer too. Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, and then
Uh,
he just turns the gun on himself, shoots
yeah,
himself,
he
and then we
takes
get
care of
this
himself,
shot of Bronson, and boom, that's it. That's the film.
and that's it. That is it. That's literally it.
Hey man.
Boom,
Yeah,
just like that. Yeah, that's a
certainly
messenger of
seem
death.
like they were all trained by stormtroopers, Rob. Yeah, it's definitely seems that way.
Yeah, Jesus.
You can see Cyborg on the wall. Oh, good eye there, Michael. Yeah, I do have the Cyborg poster right up there. Yeah,
Ah, nice. I love Cyborg. One of my
yeah,
favorites.
yeah. It's a good one.
Definitely it's in my top 5 Van Damme movies.
Yeah, it's definitely one of his one of my favorites of his as well. One of his
And
best.
it's not because it's super great. It's just I find that the weird way that it's done in a weird kind of way, and I find it
Yeah.
just works with the subject matter and everything in it. And I really
Yeah, I
dig
do.
it.
I really dig the style of like this cool sort of post-apocalyptic film with Van Damme. Sort of, it almost reminds one of a western as well, and they were sort of influenced by Once Upon a Time in the West in ways. I read that somewhere,
Right.
and you can see it once you know it. Yeah, I like that film a lot, especially
Yeah.
if you consider like the very weird origin story. Like it was supposed to be they were going to do Spider-Man the film canon,
Yeah.
and they were going to do the sequel, Master of the Universe,
Master
but
of the
then that
Yeah.
got canceled and they reused the sets. Yeah, that's
So he used everything up, mashed it up, and
yeah,
made it. They made like a last attempt to make some money
yeah. They had
with
Van Damme on the
Cyborg.
contract because obviously he did Bloodsport with them, and they were like, "Let's get Van Damme." Yeah,
Yeah.
and they threw the film together.
Yeah.
But I did this messenger. Then as the credits are rolling, I try and sort of make out some recognizable like stunt people or whatever, but I can't recognize any of these names that are coming up here. This is really why Gareth is the king of watch bars. He would
Probably not,
he
probably
would
not a
be
lot
like,
of
"Oh,
stunts
it's this
either.
guy. It's this guy's." Yeah,
It's probably not a lot of stunts either.
yeah, that's true.
There's a couple stunts, like actual stunts, but
Yeah.
I mean, when you're talking about the car chases and obviously and all that stuff like that, there's people driving the cars and everything.
Oh, this is she's watching on your channel. I think the link to my channel is probably in the link stream or the link title, I guess.
You're talking about the link
Um,
to 101 Bronson's? I will do that.
I think so, yeah.
I will do that.
And here we have the final credit, Messenger of Death, a canon film. Yeah,
Let's see if I can do that here. Now, let me
and
see
then
here.
that's it.
Let me see. Let me see. Do you want the link to the channel, right? Okay. Okay, let me see there. And then I'll go here, and then I'll go here, and then I'll go here, and I'll do this, and I'll boom. How's that?
Oh, there you go. There's the link to my channel if you're watching on Rob's channel this stream, because yeah, we're dual streaming this one. Let's see, got a couple more comments here. Oh wait, this one was first. The main bad guy in Cyborg, yeah, he's pretty scary. Fender, yeah.
Yeah, I
And then
liked
you
him in
find out,
Point Break.
oh yeah, he was in that as well. True, he was a real surfer. And then you find out actually, I think his voice is dubbed in Cyborg because his
Yeah,
voice doesn't really match his appearance, which
no,
I thought was pretty funny.
but he looked cool with the contacts, the white eyes, and everything, or whatever.
Yeah, with the baby blues, yeah.
Yeah,
Love the mood and music of Cyborg. Yeah, probably watch him more than any Van Damme film. I'll probably watch Kickboxer the most or Bloodsport. But yeah, Cyborg is definitely up there in terms of
definitely those three for sure, man.
yeah, in terms of repeat watches for sure. Yeah, especially yeah, the ending scene with his evil eyes and his screams. Yeah, that ending fight scene is just like Van Damme is screaming, then Fender is screaming. Yeah,
Yeah,
Fender. Yeah,
slow motion stuff.
yeah. And there's
Yeah.
Jay Rank. Yeah, hi
Hey, what's
Jay. Good
happening, Jay?
evening.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to your videos in a while, Jay. I've been busy doing the Static Realm. I don't know if you checked it out, but I'm gonna get to your stuff. I'm on my way there, so don't think I'm not checking you out. But yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot of music references in Cyborg, eh? Like
Yeah, you got
one
Gibson,
guy,
Fender. Yeah,
Gibson, Fender. One guy's isn't Rickenbacker in there too, or something?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, there's I don't know. There's a couple of different guitar references in that movie.
true. Let's see. People saying hi to each other. I will bring them up, but I obviously won't read them out. But yeah, is there a tattoo at your hairline, Rob? Yeah, there is a tattoo there.
Hi, man.
Oh, Fanner's voice was dubbed by the big bad guy from Hard to Kill. Oh, I actually did not know
Oh,
that.
really?
That's cool trivia. Yeah.
Hmm.
Jay says no worries. Yeah, and I did just see the notification come up for that, Mayan. Thank you very much. Do
There you
appreciate
go.
that.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, you too, Matthew. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.
Have
Have a
a
good
good one,
morning.
buddy.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your day. You got a full day ahead of you. For me, it's
Yeah.
bedtime.
Thanks for coming out, Matt. You the man.
You're the bloody man, people.
One day I'm going to go to Australia and do a video with Matt.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. Visiting his workout VHS gym sort of hybrid that he has going on there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
the
go
tape
to
gym
do a video. I'm gonna do like a 8 minute abs video or something like that at the video gym.
workout and watching bloody tapes,
Yeah,
people. Yeah. What's it off, Rob? Or will it forever be a secret? Oh, I think this is referring to the tattoo.
it is a bird. It's a traditional
Oh, really?
swallow
Actually, can bring
sailor.
him up a little bit.
It's
Yeah.
sailor swallow tattoo. It's a bird.
All right, there you go.
You can see it, traditional style.
Oh,
Tattoos like that, if they meant like a certain go like traveling and coming back safely kind of thing, you know.
yeah. Queen May. Oh yeah, she's horror YouTuber of the month now, isn't she?
That's right.
Yeah. Congratulations, Mayan.
That is correct.
Looking forward to the Death Wishes. Oh yeah, that's again. I'm gonna as we are gonna wrap up now in a few moments. Death Wish 2 is on Wednesday because tomorrow evening I'm on Gareth's channel for a Scarface watch along. So Wednesday on my channel, Matt Buckwell 316 is joining me for Death Wish 2, and then the day after that, it's on Thursday. Dave from Savage Zombie Reviews is going to join me for Death Wish 3. And then I
Nice.
think the week after that, on the 14th, Garrett is going to be on my channel for Death Wish 4. And then on the 18th, we have Jason Backtrack Cinema for Murphy's Law. And that's all the watch parties I got planned so far.
Nice.
Like I
There's a
said, I
bunch of them.
still have a slot or two left for maybe like at the end of the month. So if people would be interested in joining me, let me know. We can probably still set one up for the end of the month.
Man, you got a bunch going
It's
on, eh?
Yeah, I got more than I actually thought I would get, so I'm happy. Yeah, thank you, Mike. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Just try to pause. It looks like a genie lamp. Well, it is a bird, so make sure to drop them likes on both streams. Yeah, indeed, like the stream on Rob's channel as well as mine. Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
drop those likes. Drop those likes.
Or Bronson will be coming for you. And thank you as well, Mayan. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you,
doing another
man.
stream. Yeah. Oh, I agree with that. It's that's probably the reason why we're doing because Garrett knows it's my favorite film of all time.
Scarface is pretty good, man.
It's pretty fucking good, isn't it? Yeah,
Fucking like it.
it's even epic, as Michael Myers says. Yeah. So yeah, that's tomorrow at 8:30 my time, which is 7:30 for my UK friends. That probably will be in the afternoon for you, Rob, and for Matthew, that will be probably midnight. But yeah, thank you, Yam Yam. Thank you for tuning
Thank
in
you.
as well. Thanks everybody for tuning in as we're going to wrap up now. Mayan
Yes.
says, I believe one of the Death Wish movies scarred me for life as a little kid. My dad was watching it and I happened to see some of it. Haven't had the courage to check them out ever since. Probably Death Wish 2, because that is like the most brutal. It has a very brutal opening, like 10 to 15 minutes, I would say, which, yeah, it's tough to watch. That's for sure. Very, very tough to watch. But yeah, I'm not going to say right now what happens. We're going to have to wait until Wednesday, but yeah.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
I probably won't be able to show it anyway because it's very, very much rated R, very much for mature audiences. Yeah,
Right.
YouTube can't handle it.
Nope.
Anyway, I think this is the end of the comments. So let me just say again, thank you to everybody who tuned in. Yeah, Larry, the Horror Cat, Dad, Mayan, Michael Myers, Jay Arang, Yam Yam, Charlotte's Nightstar. She was on your channel. Matthew Binney, of course, Garrett for your tasties who was here, Carlos, Eastwood for life, and anybody else that I'm forgetting. Thank you all for tuning in and making this a pleasant stream. And of course, most importantly, thank you, Rob, for joining me for this one.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
Despite it being a lower quality film, we did have some fun on this one, and
Oh
it
yeah,
went very
it
well.
was a good
So
stream.
yeah,
We made it. We
I
made it
thank
into
you.
something.
Indeed. Yeah, thanks, man. That will be on Wednesday then. So anyway, yeah, I guess that's it for now. Yeah, keep it Bronson, everybody. Keep punching. Stay safe and healthy. And
Later,
we
tape
will see
boys.
you all later. Take care, guys.